stop trying to fake it till you make it. There's this common misconception that in order to thrive and have a fulfilling career, you have to fake it, you have to pretend, and you have to put on to really get where you want to be in your career. And not only is it not true, but it's also horrible career advice. And it leaves so many professional women feeling overwhelmed and overworked and inauthentic because they're constantly faking it at work, or they're faking it in their pursuit of work. And let me give you some examples. So often, I'll meet women who have been job searching for weeks, for months, for maybe even years. And I put job searching in parentheses because, they've been kind of looking at job boards. They maybe told a couple people they want to leave their current job and they're looking for new opportunities, but they haven't really been intentional about finding and securing a new job. They're kind of 1 foot in and 1 foot out, right? That's faking it till you make it, right? You're 1 foot in, you're 1 foot out. You're not committed to your career advancement. You're not committed to finding a new job. Every time your boss makes you mad, you're like, I'm going to quit and I'm going to find a new job. But a few days, maybe a few weeks later, you're back to not searching for jobs, not putting applications in, and kind of trying to fake it, right? Until you find something else. But the truth is that when it comes to career development, it doesn't just come. You don't just find something else. You have to be really intentional about building a career roadmap that's actually going to yield success. And the way to build a successful career roadmap is actually to have a strategy, have some insight, have a very particular way to approach your career development. And I think too often, because you don't know how to job search, you don't know what kind of jobs you're looking for, you're not sure the best next steps in your career, you end up faking it, right? You're like, well, let me just put myself out there. Let me just apply to jobs that I don't even know if I'm interested in and hope that someone calls me back. Let me submit 100,000 applications and just hope something shakes, right? And that's faking it. So is lying on job postings and, listing skills and degrees and certifications that you don't have. It's all inauthentic, and I get it, right? So there feels like there's so much competition. You feel like maybe you have to fake it till you make it. You have to pretend, you have to beat out the competition. So you have to kind of beat someone else. But the truth is there are ways for you to use the skills, the knowledge, the talent, the expertise that you already have to position yourself to make more money and have more impact. And it does not include you faking it when it comes to your career. So I really want to invite you to be more intentional and show some authenticity in your work so that you don't have to feel like you have to fake it at work or fake it in your job search. So I want to talk about 4 specific ways that I often see women kind of faking it till they make it at work, and how to interrupt these bad behaviors so we can actually position ourselves to make more money and have more impact in our careers. So strategy number 1. So oftentimes I see women faking it when they're constantly asking for permission or second guessing themselves and doubting themselves at work, right? If you're constantly, well, I don't know if I should do that, and I don't know if that's going to help, and I don't know if they really value me, or I don't know if they take me seriously. If you're constantly second guessing yourself at work, if you're constantly doubting yourself at work, if you're constantly like, well, I don't know if if I should do this, I don't know if my boss believes in me, or I don't know if I have what it takes, right? If you're constantly second guessing yourself and doubting yourself at work, that's faking. Because the truth is that you have skills, you have knowledge, you have expertise, you've done really meaningful work across the course of your career, and that work is valuable. The skills, the knowledge, the expertise that you have right now are really valuable. But if you're faking and pretending at work, and scared and nervous to advocate for yourself, scared and nervous to ask questions to advance your career, scared and nervous to ask for a raise and ask for a promotion, you are faking at work. Because the truth is that you're valuable. You have skills, you have knowledge. But if you're putting your head down and just hoping to get through it every day, then you're not really telling the truth, right? The truth is that you need to build your career confidence, right? You really need to build the confidence to advocate for yourself, build the confidence to speak to your expertise in a meaningful way. And if you don't know how to do that, that's a sign that you would benefit from mentorship. mentorship, right? Because my job as a mentor is to really help you be more strategic about advocating for yourself at work, be more strategic about speaking up for yourself at work, be more strategic about, saying what you want in your career and going after that, right? So often I see women, maybe they had a bad annual review, or maybe they asked for a raise and didn't get it. And so they lost their confidence. They lost their ability to advocate and speak up for themselves. And they're just, I'm just going to put my head down and do the work, right? But the truth is that you just putting your head down and doing the work is burying you in a job that you no longer desire to be in, right? And so instead of faking it and just trying to, tough it out, I really want to invite you into mentorship. I want to invite you to get the help that you need to really position yourself as an expert and get support so you can move from where you are to where you want to be. The second sort of fake thing that I see professional women doing, and I know so many women have been guilty of this, right? This idea that let me just smile in my boss and my coworker's face, even after they disrespect me, even after they disregard my work, even when they don't see my value, they talk over me, they mansplain me, they take my ideas. I'm just gonna keep the peace, right? And let me know if there's any peacemakers watching this video. If you're a peacemaker, right? You don't want to make waves, you don't want to say anything. So when people disrespect you at work, when people disregard you, when people talk over you, you just, what, never mind, I didn't care anyway, or never mind, I'm not going to say anything, or what, I don't have time for this, I'm just gonna go to a job board and search, right? You're not advocating for yourself, you're not speaking up for yourself. You kind of allow people to disrespect your boundaries, disrespect your expectations, and you don't have mutual respect with you and your boss. There's no mutual respect between you and your coworkers, and you just kind of suffer through it, right? And let me know if that sounds familiar. Let me know if that sounds true for you, right? Because I know a lot of women are struggling with that. But what I want to invite you into is that you can build meaningful and authentic relationships with your boss, with your supervisor, with your team, simply by demanding mutual respect, right? And mutual respect means that when I'm talking, you don't interrupt. When I'm talking, you give me space to share. And when you're talking, I don't interrupt. And when you're talking, I give you space to share. This means starting on time, ending on time, respecting each other's time. This means, respecting my scope of work and my workload, not asking me to do things significantly out of my scope of work without compensation, right? Like there's these expectations at work that need to be adhered to. And if you're faking and pretending like the disrespect and the disregard don't matter to you, that's a problem. I want to teach you how to authentically stand up for yourself at work so that your ideas aren't regularly disregarded and you're not regularly disrespected and feel like you can't advocate for yourself at work. The truth is that, again, your skills, your knowledge, your expertise are valuable and they deserve to be heard. You deserve to be heard, right? But if you constantly feel like you're in a space at work where no one's hearing you, where no one's valuing you, where they don't see the value of your expertise, this is a sign that you would benefit from mentorship. Because together we can interrupt some of that bad behavior from your boss. Together we can interrupt some of that bad behavior from your coworkers and your team, and we can start to rebuild that relationship with mutual respect. Or I can help you find a new job where you're going to have a boss and supervisors and team members who will respect you, right? Who will respect the value of your expertise. All right. So number one, we talked about it's fake to constantly ask for permission and constantly second guess yourself. The authentic thing would be to stand in full confidence, right? It's fake to smile in your boss or coworker's face when they disrespect you and your work, right? The authentic thing to do would be to build meaningful relationships that are built on mutual respect, right? So that you don't feel like you're being disrespected or you're being disregarded at work and your boss and your supervisor doesn't either. Number three, it's fake to never share your ideas and hiding behind what's always been done, right? So I know this is a challenge for a lot of you. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing, or I'm just gonna let them do things, how they always done it. Or, I'm not gonna give them my good ideas because they don't value me. And that is fake, right? You work for an organization that has goals, that has milestones, that has vision, a mission, and you should be giving your good ideas, your good insight, your good strategy, right? You should be giving those things to aid in the mission, vision, values, and purpose of your organization. If you're not doing that, that's a problem. That's fake, right? Like, the authentic thing would be to leverage your futuristic thinking skills to drive the organization forward. The authentic thing would be to be intentional about when you have a good idea. Raise your hand and say, hey, I think we should be moving things forward. And if you're working in an organization where you don't feel like your ideas can be heard at work, that's a problem, right? I posted something specifically about how to get your good ideas heard at work. And if you haven't watched that video, make sure you go to my Instagram page. It's a graphic that talks about how to get your good ideas heard at work. And so it's fake to keep your good ideas to yourself. It's fake to, put your head down and pretend that you don't have anything valuable, right? You add value everywhere you go. And I want to encourage you to say that out loud, to celebrate that, and to share your good ideas at work. And finally, the fourth fake thing that I often see women doing at work is that they shy away from fully expressing their identity for fear of how they'll be received, right? If you are working in an organization where you're experiencing sexism or racism or homophobia or ageism or ableism, right? If you're experiencing that at work, and you have found, and maybe that's because you're experiencing that's why you've shied away from showing up as your authentic self, I really want to invite you to advocate for yourself. If you can't advocate for yourself, connect with the Disability Services Office or Affirmative Action Office or an advocacy unit so that you can feel confident and standing up in who you are and how you show up in the world so that you don't have to pretend or fake at work. You deserve to show up authentically. You deserve to be your full self. All of you is important, and you shouldn't have to hide who you are and how you show up in the world to be gainfully employed. So if you feel like you're constantly having to do that, I invite you to find an advocate. If you need support with that as a mentor, I'm happy to serve as an advocate to connect you with the right resources with your employer, or to help you find a new employer who can really value you and your unique identity. It's time to stop faking it at work. You do not have to do that. Instead, I really want to help you strategize on how to show up authentically and still make the kind of money you want and still be able to position yourself as an expert. If you know you need support in showing up authentically at work, I'm accepting new mentees. Schedule a call with me today at mentor-me.org. That's mentor-me.org.